Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be working on my next ITA bag. We're just gonna have a really chill, kind of chit-chatty, showing you how I do it kind of video. So sit back, relax, grab a drink. So first of all, a lot of you guys know that I have been super into Final Fantasy XIV for the last year or so. So I have accumulated some merch, but it actually is not as much merch as I originally thought I had, but we will cross that bridge when we get to it. So we'll go ahead and start with official merch and then move on to fan-made stuff. While I'm doing everything, I'm probably going to talk to you guys about my Final Fantasy experience, about what I do and like how I do it and like what I play and whatever else, so you're gonna find out all that information as well. Just kind of the story behind what am I doing in Final Fantasy XIV. So the first item I have is a Scholar coaster and a Scholar pin. This was actually because when I first started playing the game, I was a Scholar main. Thankfully, I have these coasters because we need to fill space on this bag. I also have two other coasters. I have the Astrologian and the Moogle coaster. I do have a casing for this one. Unfortunately, I don't for the other two, so if I'm gonna place the other two in the bag, they're going to just be loose in there, and I don't want them to get damaged, so whether or not we're going to be using all three coasters, I'm not sure yet. So that's actually all I have for official merch. Everything else is by artists, and I do apologize that I've accumulated these items over a period of time, so I don't necessarily remember every artist for every item. So if there's an item that you see in this video that you know the artist for, please feel free to comment below, let me know, and make sure that they get proper credit. The next item we have is this little Scholar keychain, and you might have seen this in my last video. We have this Yazael keychain as well. It's double-sided. She is one of my all-time favorite characters. You can say it's her character, you can say it's her aesthetic. I love Yazael. Next up we have the Tsukuyomi charm. It is big, it is loud, it is out there. So it's probably going to end up being at least somewhat a focal point for this bag for now. On that same kind of aesthetic, I have this Under the Moonlight pin that I got from an artist at Otakon last year. This one is kind of hard to hold because it's in two pieces, but it's an astro globe for an astrologian and a little card. It is linked together with this little chain. It is absolutely gorgeous. I got this from an artist off of Etsy. Second to last, we have these job charms that I got off of Etsy. They are resin and they have little kind of bits and bobs inside of them. And from that same artist, I have an Astrologian charm as well. And last but not least, we have this beautiful pin. Can I get some F's in chat, please? So, kind of like how I said before, we don't have too much to work with. So because I'm going to be redoing this bag like right as I get back from the convention, I don't think I'm going to be making an actual insert for the bag itself. So to fill up the space that won't be filled with charms just yet, I got flowers. So the symbolism behind these is a symbol for the white mage in Final Fantasy XIV is the lily. So I got two different kinds of lilies. Our FC's colors are dark blue and light blue, so it's kind of also a nod to our pre-company. And then also, just to keep it spicy, I got some lights. I've always wanted to put lights in an ITA bag, and I'm finally gonna do it, and I figured this would be the time to do it. Just the Final Fantasy XIV aspect, you know, crystals. The base bag that we are going to be using is this guy. This is a bag I got off Amazon, I believe for $23. It is pretty simple. It came in 2 days, so that was pretty heckin' cool. Your second question probably going to be, Deja, it's a cat bag? I thought you were all about bunnies and rabbits, and why a cat bag? What? Well, let me explain to you. I love Miko men. So the first things first, we are just gonna start kind of placing everything we have and seeing what looks good and where we should be putting things, etc. So, Eat a Bag general tips. First thing, the reason why I've waited so long to actually do my nails for the convention this weekend is because if I had a nickel for every time I messed up my nail polish while trying to do an Eat a Bag. So in case for whatever reason you guys don't know what Final Fantasy XIV is, it is an MMORPG by Square Enix. It incorporates the rest of the Final Fantasy franchise in ways that are really nostalgic for me. Have always been somebody who liked MMORPGs as well, so it was just kind of a win-win in that situation. I'm on the Crystal Data Center, so yes, it is the roleplay, not Savage Data Center. I am on Zalera, and I am the leader of a Freed company. So Final Fantasy XIV is as you'd expect with any other Final Fantasy game, a heavy story-based game, right? So a lot of people get hung up on the fact that like there's so much story to progress through before you can get to current content and I'm never gonna catch up, so like what's the point? But if you really do enjoy Final Fantasy and MMORPGs, I do suggest it. It's like what, the #1 played RPG right now or MMO right now or something like that. So what I think I'm going to be doing with the small lilies is removing this center part here and having them just lay flat like that inside the bag. But then I just think that that looks like it's not balanced. Get it? Balance. It's an Astro joke. I don't have a white mage coaster. I want one desperately, but the Astrologian will just have to do. Because Astrologian is supposed to be my main class. That's what I'm supposed to be playing on my static, but I was awful and leveled my white mage as I did MSQ. Sorry, Angel, if you're watching this, please do not yell at me. Just so I can keep a general idea of what this is going to look like, I'm going to take a picture on my phone real quick, and then we will start pinning. So we will just keep that little guy, we'll keep that there, and we're gonna take all this off then and start pinning. So I keep all of my Eat a Bag supplies in this little Honika Kira Kira pouch. It's got all my safety pins and like chains that I've taken off of other charms and things like that. I don't particularly like ball chains just because they're bulky and they normally take away from the actual charm itself. So if I have a ball chain, I typically take it off and substitute it for one of these. You know, the best part about this video is through the power of editing, this is gonna look really easy to all of you. But in reality, I've probably be sitting here for a couple hours. So I've decided that there's really no better way to get these guys on besides just doing it the old-fashioned way, putting it on a safety pin and going through the bag. Oh, a tip for bags in general. So if you put a safety pin in a bag and you put a charm directly on the safety pin, it's better if you do the charms facing upwards because it gives the charm less room to move around, as opposed to if you do it horizontally through the bag, the charm can kind of slide back and forth and the placement of your charm might not be exactly where you want it to be. So if you kind of feel around very, very carefully with your finger, you can see, or rather feel, the tip of the pin and you just kind of, you literally stab your finger, but just be careful not to actually hurt yourself. Not that I haven't bled because of an Eat a Bag before. Do as I say, not as I do, bundles. Okay, so we've got those two down. Looking at the photo, why don't we go ahead and... I think what I'm going to be doing is slipping these... I mean, I could really just put them there now, just to like have be placeholders. Have be placeholders. So, Yazel. First of all, I love Yazel. She is great. I have reasons for loving her character that I can't tell you because it's a really good story and you should play through the Heavensward expansion. But I love her. However, I do not love these giant chain things on the top of charms because they are bulky and hard to hide and they just tend to make the bag look not as neat. So as I was talking about earlier, my character, Munira. So Munira, Muni, as most people call her, is my character that I created in Final Fantasy XIV, and I got super into the roleplay aspect of the game. Not so much in-game, but outside of game. I found friends and stuff that roleplay over Discord and like write these whole stories, and her document alone, I think somebody was just saying this morning, is 59 pages or something, so I'm going to put this particular pin and this flower behind it. So what I'm doing is just, see the pin there? So a question that might be on everyone's mind at this point is, Deja, when are you going to stream Final Fantasy XIV? And the answer is soon TM. I had to have a talk with my FC about it because I am concerned about people just kind of I don't even, like, I guess it's a privacy thing, but essentially I'm connecting two of my worlds and it'd be like two friends meeting each other, and it might be a little bit overwhelming for me at first, so I'm just gonna take it slowly-ish. I know a bunch of you guys probably already know my in-game alias and everything, so it's really not that big of a deal, but I did kind of maybe keep my YouTube a secret from all my friends in-game. And by kind of maybe, I mean hid it like the plague. I don't know, because people, especially like people you meet online, if they don't know you and then they find out you have a YouTube channel and or online personality, they could see you differently. I don't know. So a lot of you guys might be actually from 14 who just came to watch this because you're from 14 and that's how you found my channel. So hello, I love you! I said this was gonna be a really calm and relaxing ITA bag video and I'm just yelling. That's my life. That's my life. The flowers. Remember when I said don't bleed? Oh god, I need a band-aid. Alright, now that we've done that, okay, so now I have to conquer putting lights in this thing. Step 1, got them out of the package. Oh good, these are just double A's. So obviously I'm not going to be plugged into a wall the entire convention, so that needs to be a battery powered light. Whee! We have light! So we're literally just going to put the battery pack right in one of those pockets for now. And then we have all of this wire to figure out what we want to do. If you have any tips on how to do this and you've done it before, or you just have an idea, also comment below. I do a little bit of everything. I roleplay, I do Savage content, not very well in my opinion, but I heal Savage content. I'm in 2 different statics. The new expansion, I will not say any spoilers, so don't worry. But the new expansion was so good. I loved it. I am in love with the Crystal Exarch, and that is what you're going to be hearing about a lot in the Otakon vlogs, because boy, am I gonna buy a whole bunch of merch! Okay, so the plan is to put safety pins to hold this down as it frames this bag. Something we all like to say in the FC as well is, thanks, I hate it. So when I had this idea, I was like, oh, that's so funny, Warrior of Light, you know? And now that I'm putting the lights on and having to pin everything, I'm just like, thanks, I hate it. If you guys have any questions about Final Fantasy XIV, feel free to comment below. I am always happy to help new players, people who are genuinely interested in the game, and I'm really into the lore as well, so if you have like lore questions, your girl has both lore books. Okay, I'm sweating, but I think we're done. So here is the completed bag in all its glory for now. Like I said, it is going to look a lot different come post Otakon, but I did want to put everything I had together to put something together, and this is what we got. So guys, let me know, have you been working on any new ITA bags? Are you into Final Fantasy XIV? Have you ever made a game exclusive ITA bag? Let me know in the comments below. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you very soon with the upcoming Otakon 2019 vlogs. And until then, I love you very much. Bye-nie!